What's going on, people? Taking a bit of time out making videos. Just got a busy life, man. Gym, work, gym, rinse and repeat. So can't really dedicate as much time to making videos as I would like. Um, but I was asked in the comments to make basically a setup video for what I actually use within the game. Um, so for my wheel, I like to have the force feedback slap bang in the middle, basically because I don't have a sturdy enough table to where I can have it at max, and also it just doesn't feel comfortable to be wrenching the wheel left to right, fighting the force feedback. So too strong is just too strong, right? Uncomfortable. Too little, and you now have to start looking at visual cues and listening to the sound of your engine to tell whether or not you're going to fishtail. So for me, having it slap bang in the middle is perfect because I get the amount of force feedback that I like, to where it's not too taxing on my arms, especially if I'm doing a long race, and also it's not too it's just not too much. It's for me, it's just perfect. I have my gearbox at sequential because I don't like having to use the gear shifter and having to engage the clutch, change gears, etc. Especially, if you're actually, I don't think that a sequential, I don't think that you can have any better of a gear shift than a sequential in these type of games. I think maybe if you're actually racing in a simulator where everyone is forced to use a a shifter, then that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. But for me, in these sort of games, and I'm personally really looking forward to Forza Horizon, the new one. I can't wait for that to come out because I'll definitely be playing that a lot. So sequential gearbox is perfect for me. I don't know why it says the wheel range is at 60 because I normally have it at 180, for the simple fact that on 180, for me, it's a lot easier to then turn the car without having to wrench the wheel all the way up. The default setting, I want to say it's like I want to say it's 270. I can't actually remember, but for me, that's just too high because I'm having to turn the wheel far too much just to make a simple turn, a simple 90-degree turn. So if I have it at 180, then for me, I don't have to turn the wheel too much. Literally, it's just a semicircle and I'm at full lock. And that to me is just perfect. The steering, I don't actually know why it's reverted to default. Maybe it's to do with the update. I usually have it at custom. So for me at custom, I've got the smallest amount of dead zone that you can have. Because if you don't have any dead zone, then what you find is that when you're going on a straight, you're constantly having to adjust just to keep your car straight. So if you have it at the smallest possible dead zone, then you can leave the steering wheel alone and you'll continue to go in a straight line. So for me, if I don't have a dead zone, then the car becomes twitchy even when you're traveling in a straight line at 200 plus miles an hour, and that's just not comfortable. As far as this particular setting, what it basically means is it helps you to get to the steering lock quicker. Now, I already have my steering lock at 180, so that's not a particular issue for me. What it basically means is just that you get to the full lock as quicker by applying basically a software setting. As far as the throttle, again, all of these settings have reverted to default. I don't actually know why. I personally, I mean, this is not the setting that I had before. I normally have mine. All right, let's see. Bear with me here, folks. So I don't like having a dead zone, you see. And I like having my throttle linear. So, okay. This looks like how I used to have my settings. We'll have a bash in a minute and then see where exactly it's supposed to be. The worst one is the brakes. Now, for me, I have no actual idea why on earth there is as big of a dead zone as there is with the brakes. I mentioned this in my last video, but basically, so like, I'll do a quick test. Right now, I'm pressing on the brake, pressing on the brake, pressing more, pressing more, pressing more, pressing more, and it's just now showing up. It's only just now registering that I've actually made an input on the brake. And that to me is probably 10 degrees of travel before it actually registers in the game. And that is so annoying because in instances where you're about to make a turn, the turn is not very sharp, but you do have to scrub off some speed before you actually get to the turn. And you just want to dab the brake just a little bit, just so you scrub maybe 20, 30 miles an hour speed, right? And you do that and your car obviously doesn't stop or it doesn't slow down. So then you're panicking, you're thinking, oh shit. And then you stab it a little bit more and it's still not slowing down enough. And then you panic and you put full brake on, you lock your wheels, all of a sudden you're not going to make the turn anymore. And so that is one of my pet peeves about this game, is that the brake is not sensitive enough. I mean, even when I have it, I have it at precise now, but at custom, you can't go any lower than that. There will continue to be a dead zone. Now, I don't know if that is the actual pedals themselves that are causing the issue, or if it's the game not registering the input until you get to about here. So it's one of the two. I don't know what it is. Logitech haven't come out and said anything. Neither have the developers to say, you know, we're gonna put a patch in or whatever. With the, as you can see, with the throttle, I don't have to put in that much effort. It literally, it's registering already. At this same travel with the brake, it's not registering at all. I have to, there we go. Just now it's registering. So I don't actually understand what it is. I don't use a clutch. Could care less with a clutch, to be honest. As I say, I use a sequential gearbox. So for me, these are the best settings you're gonna get in this game, at least. So minus the brakes, I'd say this game kind of handles okay. I mentioned before that, you know, this is my first ever racing game using the steering wheel, so it's not exactly anything that I can sort of. It's not exactly anything that I can sort of compare to, but having said that, I do enjoy it. It's still quite a learning curve. I'll say that much. Still quite the learning curve, so we'll see. One thing I don't like about this game is you can't really launch. So if you hold the throttle in and then you try to launch the car, it just bogs down. It just bugs right the way down, so I don't quite understand it. So yeah, as you can see now, I'm going in a straight line. I'm not having to adjust because of that dead zone. I make the smallest inputs possible. And what I do, the reason I have my steering at 180 to begin with, right, is because if I just come to a dead stop here, right, in the game, my character is at full lock and they're not having to turn the wheel all that much. That's basically one-to-one as far as I can see. That's their 180 degree full lock as well. And so I like to have that same 180 degree lock where I'm not you know, doing the pull and push just to get to my 900-degree lock. I like to have that racing feel where if in the game they've only got to do 180, that's all I've got to do as well. 180 degree, and then you get your full lock. So for me personally, that's why I have my wheel at 180-degree lock. And then the reason I have sequential as well is I don't think there are any cars in this game that don't have a sequential gearbox. I think they're all sequential, apart from the Koenigsegg, which is just a one-gear car, which, I mean, I have no idea still how they've managed to make that a single gear, but there you go. And then what I find as well is with this degree of lock, so with this 180 degree of lock, you can make really, really small adjustments very quickly. So if you're coming into head-on traffic, you can literally, with the smallest steering wheel movement, just kind of get out of the way. I should have made that jump, but oh well. So those are the reasons why I have my settings in the game as how I do, and I find that with these settings I perform a lot better. So that'll be it for this video, guys. If you want to see any more, make sure you leave a comment. I'll try and get back to my comments a lot quicker. It's been a couple of hectic weeks for me in terms of work and just having a busy schedule. I do try to boot this game. I mean, like I said, the last time I booted this game before today was probably 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So I will try and, I mean, of course, depending on whether my demographic even wants any. I mean, I'll basically respond to how the audience dictates. If people want more videos, if people subscribe, then I'll make more videos. If not, I'll still continue to play the game. I just won't make any videos necessarily. But yeah, you guys will dictate, all you people out there in the internet land. You guys dictate how exactly you want me to continue going forward. So let me know. Peace out.